Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something really quite powerful.
Yeah.
It's not about those huge, massive efforts we sometimes think we need. It's more about the surprising, almost hidden power of small, everyday actions.
Exactly.
We are deep diving into Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a book that's really helped so many people get, well, extraordinary results just through tiny habits done over and over.
And our mission here, really,
Yeah.
is to pull out the absolute core insights from Clear's work, the things that can genuinely help you build better habits.
Right.
And ultimately, build a better life. It's fascinating because it feels a bit backward at first, doesn't it? These tiny little actions leading to huge transformations.
Yeah, that title, Atomic Habits, it really grabs you. My first thought was just small, tiny.
Sure.
But clear seems to mean more than just smallness. What's the deeper meaning there? Why atomic?
Well, you nailed the duality. He definitely means tiny, like an atom, but also, crucially, powerful, like the energy locked inside an atom.
Ah, okay.
His whole argument rests on this idea. Improve by just 1% every day. Sounds tiny, right?
Almost insignificant.
But the results don't just add up. They compound. They grow exponentially.
Right, the compounding effect.
Exactly. It's not just wishful thinking. It's how cumulative advantage works. Every tiny win, that little 1% boost, it feeds back.
Yeah.
It makes the next step a fraction easier.
So it builds momentum.
Yeah, almost without you noticing sometimes. And over a year, that consistent 1% improvement leads to, well, a massive change for you. It's pretty staggering when you see the math.
It really reframes things, that tiny scale leading to exponential growth. Okay, so building on that, Clear points out a common trap we fall into when trying to change. We focus heavily on goals.
Goals, yeah.
I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to finish writing my book. We're all goal-oriented.
We are.
But he challenges that focus, doesn't he? What's his alternative?
He does challenge it quite directly. Because, his argument is, systems are what actually build habits and drive long-term change, not the goals themselves.
Systems, not goals.
Right. Think about what happens when you reach a goal. Often, the motivation just evaporates, right?
Yeah, you stop doing the thing that got you there.
Exactly. The habit falls apart. Clear says, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
That's a powerful line.
It is. So instead of just wanting to get and fit the goal, you focus on building the system.
Okay, like what?
Like consistently prepping healthy meals, scheduling time for movement every day, making sure you get enough sleep. That system, the daily process, that's what actually produces the results, not just wishing for the finish line.
That makes so much sense. Focus on the process, the system, and the results sort of take care of themselves.
In a way, yes. The system is what guarantees progress.
So if we're building systems, how do we actually do that? How do habits even work on a mechanical level? Clear gives us this framework. The habit loop.
Yes, the habit loop. Understanding this is like getting the keys to your own behavior. It's fundamental.
So break it down for us. What are the parts?
Okay, 4 stages. Cue, craving, response, and reward. Every single habit follows this pattern.
Cue, craving, response, reward.
Let's use an example. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. That's the cue. It triggers your brain.
Okay.
Then you feel that itch, that curiosity. Who messaged me? What is it? Maybe a little FOMO. That's the craving, the motivation.
Right.
Your response.
Yeah.
You pull out your phone and check it.
Naturally.
And the reward is finding out what the message was, satisfying that curiosity, getting that little hit of connection or information.
Cue, craving, response, reward. Simple but powerful.
Incredibly. Because once you see your habits laid out like this, you can start to tinker with them. You can figure out how to build good ones or dismantle bad ones by targeting specific parts of that loop.
That feels really actionable. Knowing those steps gives you leverage points. Does he suggest where people usually go wrong when trying to build a new good habit? Where in the loop?
Well, often the problem isn't really a lack of willpower or desire. It's usually a flaw in the system itself, in how the habit is set up, which is why he gives us the 4 laws of behavior change. It's basically a practical formula, directly tied to manipulating those 4 parts of the loop.
Okay, the 4 laws. This is where it gets really practical for you, the listener.
Exactly. Law number 1 targets the cue. It's make it obvious.
Make it obvious.
The more visible, the more prominent the cue for a good habit is, the more likely you are to actually start it.
So like putting your running shoes right by the front door.
Perfect example.
Huh.
Or leaving the book you want to read on your pillow. It's about designing your environment to nudge you towards the desired action, Make the cue impossible to miss.
Environmental design. I like that. Okay, law 2.
Law 2 tackles the craving. It's make it attractive.
Attractive, so make the habit desirable.
Precisely. The more appealing a habit seems, the more motivated you'll be. One great technique here is what he calls temptation bundling.
Temptation bundling.
Yeah, you pair something you want to do with something you need to do.
Oh, okay. Give me an example.
Maybe you only let yourself listen to your favorite podcast while you're exercising.
Right.
Or you only get your really nice cup of coffee after you've meditated for 5 minutes. You link the reward you're already craving to the habit you want to build.
So you leverage an existing desire. Smart. What's law 3?
Law 3 addresses the response. It's make it easy.
Make it easy. This seems crucial.
It really is.
Yeah.
The easier a habit is to perform, the less friction there is, the more likely you are to actually do it, especially on days when you lack motivation.
Reduces the activation energy.
Exactly. This is where his famous 2-minute rule comes in.
Ah, yes, the 2-minute rule. Explain that.
When you start a new habit, scale it down so it takes less than 2 minutes to do. Want to read more? Habit is read 1 page.
Not read for 30 minutes.
Right. Want to exercise more? Habit is put on my workout clothes. Want to write? Habit is open the document.
Just start. Make starting ridiculously easy.
Yes. It lowers that initial resistance so much that it's hard not to do it. And often, once you've started, you keep going. But the goal is just to start, to master the art of showing up.
Love that. Okay, the final law. Law 4.
Law 4 is about the reward. It's
Make it satisfying.
make it satisfying because we repeat what feels good.
Our brains are wired for immediate rewards. The problem is, many good habits have delayed rewards. Exercise, saving money, the benefits are down the road.
True. So how do you make those satisfying now?
You need to find a way to give yourself an immediate hit of success. Tracking your habits is huge here.
Like using a habit tracker app or just a calendar.
Exactly. Putting that check mark on the calendar, seeing a streak build that feels good now, it provides immediate visual proof of progress.
Ah, the check mark is the immediate reward.
It signals to your brain, hey, you did the thing, good job. That little dopamine hit reinforces the behavior and makes you want to keep the streak alive. Celebrating small wins works too.
Okay, so those are the 4 laws. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. A really clear blueprint.
Very practical.
But clear adds another layer, something maybe less obvious but potentially even more powerful. He talks about identity. Yes, identity-based habits. This is, for me, maybe the deepest insight in the whole book.
How does shifting focus to identity change things?
Well, most people focus on outcome-based habits. I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
Outcome. Or process-based, I will go to the gym 3 times a week. Process.
Right.
Identity-based habits focus on who you want to become. Instead of, I want to run a marathon, it's, I am a runner.
I'm a runner.
Instead of, I want to write a book, it's, I'm a writer. See the shift.
Yeah, it's internal. It's about belief.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. Every time you perform a habit associated with that identity, every time you go for a run, every time you write a page, you are casting a vote for being that type of person.
Casting a vote. I like that metaphor.
Each action is like evidence you present to yourself that reinforces your desired identity. Over time, with enough votes, enough evidence, you actually start to believe it. You're not just doing the habit. You are the kind of person who does that habit.
So the actions shape the identity, and the identity then drives the actions.
Precisely. It creates this powerful feedback loop. You become the person you want to be by proving it to yourself one small action at a time.
Yeah.
It's about embodying the identity first.
Yes. Yeah, that's a profound shift from just trying to change behaviors. It's about changing who you believe you are.
Deep stuff, right?
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot of ground. Let's try and pull this together for everyone listening. What are the absolute key takeaways from this deep dive into atomic habits?
Right. First, that core idea.
Yeah.
Tiny changes, seemingly insignificant 1% improvements, lead to remarkable results over time because of compounding.
Right. Don't underestimate the small stuff.
Second, the crucial shift from focusing only on goals to building effective systems. Your systems are what drive your progress day to day.
Systems over goals. Got it.
Then, the practical framework. The 4 laws of behavior change. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. That's your toolkit for building good habits.
Super actionable.
And finally, perhaps the most transformative idea.
Yeah.
Focusing on identity-based habits. Aim to become the type of person who achieves the things you want to achieve. Let your actions cast votes for that new identity.
Build habits based on who you want to become.
Powerful. Okay, so as we wrap up, here's something for you to think about. Given all these principles, these atomic ideas, what's just one tiny habit, maybe following the 2-minute rule, that you could start today?
Yeah.
Right now, even.
Yeah, what's one small step you could take to begin your own compounding journey? And remember, this isn't just about, ticking boxes or being more productive.
Yeah.
It's really about consciously shaping the person you want to be, designing your life through small